What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one just want to go over some updates, some things that are happening. And this one going to be a little bit or mostly about Jim Irsay and some different things that have come out. Players are at OTAs, voluntary OTAs. So players and coaches, people speaking with the media, really for the first time since Jim's passing. So wanted to go through some of this. Some of this is going to be a little emotional the way we start this out with Reggie Wayne, but there's just some stuff here, especially what Reggie Wayne had to say. I just thought was really touching. Just talking about who Jim is. He was asked about what he told the other receivers, all the younger receivers. Right, Reggie's been around a long time. Jim was a friend to him. One of the reasons that Reggie came here as a coach. It's one of the reasons that Reggie is stuck around. It's because his relationship with Jim. So, got a couple different things from Reggie here. Going to start out. Let me go ahead and switch over here. Going to bring that up. And like I said, this is going to start out a little emotional, but again, just want to share kind of what's going on with you guys as well.
I told the receivers, I said, a lot of y'all don't. He would have did anything for anybody. He would have gave the clothes off his back. I said, y'all don't really know him, but he cared about his players. He cared about his team, cared about the city. And it wasn't just the players, he cared about people in the building. And I told him, I said straight up, man, like, y'all don't really know him. I said, but y'all got to push your ass for him. Because he would have did that for y'all. Y'all got homework to do, man. Like, read about him, right? Learn about him so you really know the type of person he was. He's that dude. I'm going to miss him.
All right, so there's that from Reggie. Just trying to share some of who Jim was with the younger players. There's also this other excerpt from Reggie. This one a couple minutes long, so I won't sit here and completely steal it, but basically talking about how the situation went down with Reggie. He was going to get out of here and go elsewhere. And it ends up being that Jim Irsay called him personally, and without an agent from either side, without anybody else involved, Reggie Wayne and Jim Irsay sat down, or not sat down, but we're on the phone and figured out the numbers, figured out what it was going to take to get Reggie to stay, and his last deal was worth $17.5 million. And because Jim and the relationship those two had, he was able to get the deal done. Irsay said, quote, "You could have asked for $30 million and I would have given it to you." Right, which is, it just shows how important Reggie Wayne was, just like Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning. And obviously, as I say that, people are going to say, "Oh, well, he let Peyton go." Of course, circumstances were different, but nonetheless, the player's very important to Jim Irsay. And this is kind of just a video the Colts put together of different players, and of course, Shane Steichen mentioning Jim Irsay. One of the reasons I wanted, and we'll see some more of this. There's a pin on the shirt here. Hopefully, I would assume these things are going to be for sale. There's also this shirt of Jim doing the squat. If I'm not mistaken, this is Jim Irsay back when he was a weightlifter. Now I believe that's 545 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. So it'd be cool to get one of those shirts. But then here's this video.
We're going to honor this season for Jim, and we're going to win for Jim this year.
It was always, how can I help as a player? Feeling that love from an owner makes you want to play for the organization even harder. And I had a death in my family before we played a team. He was able to align some travel to where I was able to see my family. I was able to attend the funeral. I'm forever thankful, and I know that's something that I'll cherish each day.
to a lot of people in the city, kids and all that stuff. They think the athletes are the real heroes. We were just Robin. He was the Batman. I think he was definitely the heart of the city.
He preached that the horseshoe is bigger than everyone. He really poured everything he had into this place and basically making it the best place possible.
You know, this guy, I mean, he is the horseshoe.
So, just some words from the players, kind of what you would expect from a lot of the players, and especially if you hear about Jim Irsay and who he is, right? The Kenny Moore story of, death in his family and Jim arranging, different ways of travel, right? His private jet, I'm sure, so that Kenny could go spend time with his family and still end up at the game. And that was just who Jim was, right? Somebody that's watched the Pat McAfee show basically since the beginning. Where Pat McAfee is at, both in football, like in College Game Day, WWE, like what he's doing isn't possible if Jim Irsay doesn't help him be able to get from place to place and take advantage of opportunities early on in the process of him trying to do those things. Jim always takes care of his players, whether in the building or whether they're former players. Of course, we know how he is taking care of Edgerrin James and the relationship that those two have over the time. And then, of course, the relationship with the fans. His generosity didn't stop at just his players, right? Gave back to fans, gave money to homeless people, right? He would go to training camp and just hand out $100 bills. Like, he was that guy. Right, Jim Irsay, people sharing different things about Jim Irsay, their stories. I unfortunately don't have any stories of being able to meet Mr. Irsay at any point, but just looking at everything that everybody says about him, everything that he's done, like these situations, if you want to pause and zoom in and look at this stuff, the stuff that he's helped people with, billionaire, you don't hear about billionaires being outrageously selfless, right? A lot of times you hear people say, well, you don't get rich by giving away your money, right? Like there's those different cliches along those lines, and Jim Irsay didn't abide by that. He didn't live by that. He was somebody who helped people as much as he possibly could through different situations. And then, of course, again, with how much he cared for his team, this is a story from Michael Pittman Jr. about Jim Irsay.
My personal favorite memory of Jim was the Sunday night Bomb Cyclone game. And afterwards, like we walk in and he just starts going, boom, boom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. We will rock you. And that was probably just one of the funniest, best, moments that I think that I've ever had. So he will be sincerely missed, and we're going to do everything that we can do to basically honor him in every single way.
Right, situations like that, a lot of what Jim's known for, right? There's the one, that was somewhat recently, Shane Steichen, Grant Stewart, and EJ Speed in the background going crazy. And Jim, I can't remember what song it was, and don't have it here, but I know a lot of people have seen it. The video where Jim is basically just holding on to Steichen's finger as he's bent over and just like trying to sing the song. It's just times like that really endeared Jim Irsay, I feel like, to a lot of fans, despite everything that had ever been said about him. Like, I don't pay attention to other teams like I pay attention to the Colts. I know players and personnel a lot, but in terms of ownership, like, I don't know if I just don't hear about it. Maybe I just hear more about Jim Irsay because he's our owner, or maybe he was just different, right? Just that different. But Jim Irsay, again, somebody that just seemed to always endear himself to fans. He had his mistakes, But he did a good job of trying to make the team as good as possible and doing everything he could to keep fans happy over time. And this is a shirt, right? This is a shirt that I was talking about. Good view of it right here with Jim Irsay on the squat. Again, this would be a good one. Like, I do 2 leg days a week. Get 2 of these, and I can wear one each time I do leg day, and have Jim weightlifting as motivation. If Jimmy from the Colts can do it, I can do it. And also, this Pacers hat that Steichen has on, swag, bro. I want it. Blue had a message to Mr. Irsay. Said in 2006, Mr. Irsay and the Indianapolis Colts took a chance on a mascot over the last 19 years. I had the privilege of witnessing Mr. Irsay's generosity and love for our community firsthand. He loved me. He loved you. Let's keep Mr. Irsay's memory alive forever by filling this world with love for each other. Forever, my #1 fan. Forever, your mascot, Blue. And I assume that relationship was huge, right? Blue, we see, of course, the mascot, but the man underneath is traveling with Jim on a lot of different occasions and with Jim at a lot of different events. I assume over 19 years, the relationship that those two have, I assume, is incredible. So shout out to Blue, condolences to Blue. And of course, best mascot in the game, bar none, no question about it. And this is what this is the patch that's going to be on the jerseys. You have the J.I. and then Jim Irsay's signature, and this over here is I guess his signature smiley face that they're going to put there. This is the patch that'll be on the jersey. They're also giving pins to staff and players. And again, I assume these things will become available to Colts fans at some point. Okay. So there's that. I just want to see if there's anything different. Yeah, I think they're just showing different parts of it. And then, of course, tribute still 65 years old is crazy, bro. 65. I just turned 32. 65 is not that far away, man. Shout out Mr. Irsay. There's so much more. There's a post on Twitter if you want to go and look at it. 342 on May 28th. Tributes to Jim Irsay that the Colts put out, and this has a lot of different things that different players and people around the league and fans, different stories of Jim Irsay and the things that he's done, a collection of so many things. And so that's a good one to go in and look at. Could make a whole other video about it. But just want to touch on it, right? It's not something not going to sit here and keep just making videos on this. But with what's come out, I just wanted to touch up on this. Still pretty new news, relatively. And even though the news cycle, things happen quickly and life goes on. But there is actually, while I have you guys right here, for anybody that may be curious, where is it? Here we go. A private memorial service for team owner and CEO Jim Irsay will be held on Monday, June 2nd. Plans for a public tribute will be announced at a later date. So they're going to figure something out. If I had to guess, they're probably going to pack Lucas Oil Stadium with as many people as they can possibly get, and do something there, if I had to guess. But once again, shout out Jim Irsay. We had a video the other day about his daughter's taking over, and why I think that's promising, why I think we're going to be headed in a good direction behind those three with the different things that they're made of. If you didn't see that video, go check that out. Won't explain it all here, but I think ownership is in good hands going forward. So shout out to Jim Irsay, shout out to his daughters, condolences to everybody involved, players, staff, family, anybody and everybody that's connected to Jim. Seems to be taking this one pretty hard. So thoughts, prayers, condolences to all of them. Of course, you let me know your thoughts. Do you have any, Jim Irsay stories? What do you think of Jim? You let me know down in the comment section. Love hearing from you guys. And of course, if you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Of course, appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.